Alright, so just as a heads up, I'm a little bit sick when I write this. I don't have COVID, no, it's just an oral infection, but this is the story I'll tell you about the time I got the shit beaten out of me. And because I did some stupid things, so let's get straight into it. So I've been to this abandoned building before, basically just smashed the place up with the windows. Someone had a bed in there, so we got scared, but we ended up coming back a couple months later. So this was like June 2020, I was 15. So what happened was we turned up, we walked in, and one of my friends, like in the first 10 seconds, right, smashed the window. And we'll call him David. So David smashed the window. There's three of us. David and I'll think of the name for the other guy later. So what happened was we turned up and basically smashed the window, and two guys came out screaming, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" And I froze. I was like, "What the fuck?" And they looked scary as all muscled up and everything. And then I said, they came down, right? I said, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And I went, I didn't do it, right? And I thought, fuck, these guys are going to fucking roll me and beat the shit out of me. And they're like, "Oh, who did it? Were they Islanders?" Because these guys were Islanders. So, what happened was, keep in mind, I was a tiny little boy back then, with no muscle on me at all. I was kind of skinny, fat, curly, long hair, brown hair, but yeah, so I shit myself. What happened was, but I kept cool. I just kept conversation. Just wanted to get out of there. But this guy starts asking me, "Oh, you got fucking nangs and stuff." He says, "Fuck, do you even have like ciggies?" Because I'm just telling him, no, I don't. And I said, "Nah, man, I'm sorry." And he says, "Fuck, do you do anything?" And I found out that my friends shit themselves as well, and they're in the closet at this time. But they thought, fuck, because they're really good friends. Still friends with one of them to this day. They said, fuck, we better we better help me out. So what happened was they came out, and they're like, but luckily they didn't mention anything about the smashed windows up until later. But then they said, "Oh, if you're gonna smash windows, just smash it in the other one." It was like, "Oh, chill." After that, we were still a little bit shaken up. Don't get me wrong, we were fucking terrified. But yeah. So this is where the story should end. We should have hit a couple windows, not even, and just gone out. But my two friends, particularly one of them, who I don't really see to this day because he moved, his name, we'll call him Edward, and Edward wanted to go back in there because he said, "Oh, the guys are chill," and they also said, like, if you want to have a drink, you can have a drink with us. But I instantly knew something was up, and I went, no, we should go. And then my other friend David, so David and Edward, right? Fucking Edward. They kind of pressured me into it. Like, I can't completely blame them. A lot of it was at the same time my fault, but I fucking gave in, because I thought, well, fuck, if we die together. So we go up there, and there we go up to them. It was alright. We said, "Hey, how's it going?" again for a couple seconds, and they said, "Oh, you want to have a drink with us?" And then my fucking Edward, the dickhead, like, us two froze, me and David, and then Edward goes, why the fuck would we want to have a drink with you? And I went, "Oh, this isn't good. This is not good at all." And I know shit's about to go down because I see one of them, and he was big fucking unit as well. Not really tall, but just so muscled, massive knuckles, and he gets like frustrated or some shit. He seemed like kind of more frustrated than angry. But then what happened was I walked. I just started walking down. I thought I'd just go down the stairs. I was sorry, that was my battery running low. I was just ready to run, and I was in front of everyone, and then Edward was in the middle, and that's when David turned around and started walking. And this is where it goes shit. So we're at the top floor, and just when we hit the corner, me and Edward, David gets pushed on the ledge, and the guy punches him in the back of the head. And David's a little bit of a boxer. He was like an amateur boxer. At the time, he was 5'0". I don't think he does boxing anymore. I think he's planning to get back into it and that. But he goes crunch, crunch, crunch. Left hook, right hook, left hook. And he just makes this guy's whole face bleed. He like jolted back, right? This kid was kind of like, he was big, but he was more like fattish than anything. And then he tries to swing at him again, and he kind of like jabs him in the chin. It wasn't like it's not a jab, just not quite a direct hit. Then he starts moving backwards. They're getting into a fight, and I am frozen as fuck. And then I think the guy realizes he's not going to beat David. David's going to beat him. It's like, so I think it might have been some honor thing. And then he turned, looked at me. I wasn't even processing everything correctly. And he just goes, bang! It hits me as hard as he can. And my whole head jolted like, and, sorry. And what happens after that is your boy kind of like almost falls over. Not quite, but I'm pretty fucked up. I was a little kid. And what happens is I try to run, and he grabs me. Keep in mind, this guy's huge, right? But he was more like a fattish sort of huge. Grabs me and he throws me onto the wall, full on. And I don't know what made my head bleeding, if it was the punch, but it might have been. The guy fucking hit me hard. And that's when it started going shit. But David's trying to get onto me, and Edward's kind of like hesitating, like, should I run? Should I not? And yeah, so what happens at that point is I get my head stomped in, literally. One kick, bang, two kicks. So it's kick to the head, stomp, kick, and I'm thinking, what's my mom going to think when she sees me dead? I thought I was dead. Like, I thought I was just going to drift away. It was actually quite peaceful in a lot of ways. Like, you wouldn't think it, but when you get your head stomped in, it's not peaceful at first. It's like, oh, fuck. But I don't know, maybe there's like some chemical thing that happens. Like, my body was ready to give go. I reckon I counted 8 to 10 kicks to the fucking head. Now, Edward's basically hiding at this point, but David's trying to get to me, but that guy and another guy came out at that point. And, yeah, that came out at another point. So basically what happened is he was blocked off. He couldn't get to me. So he fucking runs, and Edward's still there. Now, I was kind of upset at him for a while because I thought he just left me, you know what I mean? I thought he just left me to get my head stomped in. And you know what I mean? I didn't think he'd actually try to help me. I thought, look, I understand it, but yeah, it's kind of shit at the same time, you know what I mean? You know, when you think like, this guy's my best friend, right? Still my best friend to this day. So that was like, oh, but then I found out that he was trying to help me and get past those guys. And then I was like, oh, you know what? That's fair enough. But, yeah, what happens at that point is he runs, and what happens, I'll tell you what happens after that, but I need to get back into more detail on what's going on. So, my last couple of kicks, I became unresponsive, and the last one, I think the guy thought he killed me. My whole ear was ringing like, that horrible dinging feeling, and I thought, I'm fucking dead. He's going to pick me up and chuck me off the ledge or something. But then he picks me up. My whole face is completely fucked up, by the way. I'm bleeding out the side of my head, bruises all over my cheeks. I think my eye was swollen. It was pretty bad. And the guy says, you should have listened, man. You should have listened. Don't fucking come back. That guy, he ran then. He ran. He's not your fucking friend. He's a fucking pussy. He said all this kind of stuff. And he says, alright, I want to know what's your name. And I said, oh, my name's Alex. And then he says, what suburb do you live in? And I said, oh, I live in, I'll leave it out just but for context, I said a suburb that was fairly close to me because I still couldn't really think straight at the time. So, yeah, but just crazy to think about now. I haven't thought about this in ages. It's really traumatizing for months. And he says, alright, I want you to walk over to that tram. I don't want you to fucking say anything to anyone. But this other guy goes, no, we got to keep him here. You know, he's going to fucking snitch on us. He says, are you going to snitch? Of course I said, no, I'm not. I wasn't even planning to. In fact, I never actually snitched on them. But what happened was, my friend got the cops. And when I was walking through the fence, the cops came and I started running from the cops. But the cops got up to me and they said, yo, what's going on and all this stuff. And my head's bleeding. They put me down. They said they somehow figured out, oh, he's got a mild concussion. And they grabbed some guy from, I think it was the fish and chip store, I think. And basically what happens after that is they arrest the guy. So, and Edward's just gone. He helped me out of the building, right? But they called him a little bitch and a little girl, you fucking pussy and all this stuff. And they pushed him a little bit and he started, he just walked, right? Sorry about that. Still a bit sick, but hope I didn't fuck your audio up too much, but yeah, so he was just gone. He just slid out of that fence, and when I was running, he just didn't stop. What happened at that point was we were there. My friend David sat down. He had to get a couple of stitches on his chin because the guy really I don't think he really punched him. He must have scratched him or something. I might have to correct that with him, David, because I'm not 100% sure, but it makes more sense that he'd scratched him because it was a pretty big cut across I think it was his right chin, but the right part of his chin. But yeah, at that point they bring us in, ask us a couple questions. I was very reluctant, but you know what the cops can be like. They can fucking really push you and stuff. So I told them a couple of things, but most of it I left out of detail. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be a snitch or nothing like that. And I don't even fucking blame them for kicking our heads in a lot of ways. Because they told us don't come back. They even gave us an offer to have a drink and stuff like that. But at that point, sorry, I'm still coughing a little bit. But at that point, I was fucking. They really forced me to. I had a concussion, and I don't know how to explain it to you. My head was just hurting like fucking hell. I had to glue my head back together, like fucking Humpty Dumpty, mate. But yeah, that was fucking killing me, my head. But and I don't think I've missed any details, but that's pretty much the end of the story. So, yeah, after that, I had to rest for a week. I got over the concussion in one night. I must have a pretty strong head. My family's got a line of boxers and stuff like that, so maybe I've inherited their strong head or something of that sort. But yeah, so I got lucky that I didn't have a glass jaw. But truth be told, they kept stomping on my fucking head and all that stuff. You know, I was out of the count already. I was probably out of the count after the fourth or fifth stomp. You know, I punched, and then when they punched me, my whole eyes went they really fucking hit me as hard as they could. And then they must have hit me so hard my head was bleeding a bit. They dented my head in, and then I go and then I try to run in. I'm serious, he grabs me with one hand, this is how big this guy was, and threw me onto the wall, and I land on all the rubble, and I can't see, my eyes are closed, and I run again, and then he just punches me in the nose, and that's when I dropped. I forgot to tell you about that detail, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's good to tell that story. It's been a while since I thought about it. I was traumatized for 3-4 months, but I thought, you know what, at the end of the day, the guys weren't completely wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing to club into a 15-year-old, a minor and stuff, for just being a dickhead. We're just a bunch of dumb kids, you know what I mean? But in a way, I get it. I wouldn't have done it myself, but you know what I mean? They could have been doing some stuff in there. They were definitely doing drugs and stuff, and they probably didn't want a bunch of little kids fucking around there, and they really, gave us the warning and stuff. So in a lot of ways, yeah, it was my fault. Learn from this. Don't go into abandoned buildings. If you do, have a fucking pepper spray or some shit like that. Go and always go with someone else. Always, because I'm telling you, if I didn't go with someone that day, could be dead. But maybe I wouldn't have been fucking stupid enough to give in to peer pressure. So that's another lesson. Don't give in to peer pressure. Don't go into abandoned buildings. And if you do, use protection like a helmet. And get some pepper spray and go with as many people as possible. And you see anyone, you get the fuck out of there. Alright, peace out everyone.